What's up guys, we're back in the 2015 Chevrolet Colorado here with the Autotec infotainment system here. So today's video, we're just gonna do 8 top features of mine, okay? Starting with the 4G. You see up here, we have the 4G and the signal bars. That's one of my top features because sometimes I might not be on Wi-Fi or I don't want to take the time to hassle around with my phone to set up the Wi-Fi hotspot real quick. So that's a really nice feature because you'll always have internet with you if you want to watch YouTube or something on the go or wherever you need internet, you'll always have it. A couple tricks here, I'll show you guys how to install the SIM card into the cable. It's very simple. I just want to only talk about real quick the SIM card holder here. Just look for the cable that looks like this with the blue connector and the SIM card holder there. Basically, this is made for a probably larger SIM card size than you probably have. For example, this one is mine right here from, Google Fi. It's a data only SIM card. And so what you're going to need is you're going to need to get an adapter like that, which I'll put a link in the description, I guess, if you guys want. But basically, these are this nano SIM adapters, comes with various sizes and a little tool here if you need it. But yeah, you're going to need one of these in order to fit your small SIM card into that. So let me go ahead and install that. Basically, you just need to take your SIM card and lay it into the cavity or the slot in here like that, kind of press it in there like that. And then basically you'll just slide it with the contact side down, obviously, onto those contacts, and then close and slide this closed, and then you're good to go. So there you have it. I have it on there inside of the adapter, fits perfectly. Just kind of close that and slide it shut so that it's locked in there, and it should be good to go. That's all you need to do for the SIM card here. Obviously, just go ahead and close it like that, and you see how it says push? That's how you open it. So just push in the opposite direction just to close that door shut, and you're good to go. And once you have that set up, it might take a while for it to come online. So if you see that the 4G is there and you're not getting any internet signal, just wait 5 to 10 minutes so your SIM card can kind of sync up to your service provider. And you just need a data only SIM. I'll go in here in the settings here and kind of show you what I've done, because to also help make it work, if it's still not working, is I think originally it's set down here to one of these features, but you want to use this network type, I think, LTE. That's at least what's working for me. So if not, you might have to play around to see which one is going to work for you. Additionally, you can see other information here of how much data you're using. You can turn on or off your mobile data as needed if you don't want to keep spending money for it or something, and just turn that feature off and force yourself to use Wi-Fi. You can do roaming or anything that your data SIM card is going to be able to handle. So wherever you have signal with that data plan, mine's Google Fi, for example, here, but whatever you use, you're just limited to wherever the signal is for that. So not a bad feature. It's my top feature basically on this whole infotainment center. My other top favorite is to have the OEM original equipment manufacturing screen. So you can always have your original radio information here, your media with your Bluetooth, auxiliary input. What's neat is that you can have Bluetooth on here and you can have Bluetooth connected to the Autotec Pro system. So either or, they'll both work for you. Click on the home button just like normal and you'll have your normal apps here, your phone, navigation, settings, and audio, all of that. You still have your Pandora that came with it. I think that's all that came with it. And you have weather if you sign up for Sirius XM. I still also have XM radio right here. The only issue is that I cannot save the channel here. I think that's a Sirius XM issue that I still haven't figured out yet. But originally, to have this screen here, it's nice because if you still want to use the original climate controls, that's there too. Same for all the menu settings on and off, and you have your clock and your temperature here as well. They're a little bit off. I think this one, obviously on the OEM screen, does not sync to your phone or data or internet signal, so you might have to adjust that once in a while. But here at the top left of the Autotec Pro screen, you'll always get the correct time based off of your internet connection and location as well. My other top feature here is that you have a big screen size. And you can see that it extends a little bit higher than the whole dash here, which is nice. You get an extra inch of screen there. And I also like that it's kind of pulled out towards you more versus it being recessed, because everything is a lot easier to touch. It's very sensitive, or I don't want to say very sensitive, but it reacts to your finger touches really easy, really convenient, more user-friendly, I think. It's not like you have to keep pushing the button like you do normally on some kind of screens. But this screen is amazing. Color's great. You know, you can change the background, put widgets there. You can set it up however you want. It's very user-friendly and customizable to how you want to drive to be safe and convenient. And that kind of leads into my next top feature, is that you have the background change for the home screen options and widgets. So if you go here and you go to your settings, go to general, you got homepage style, so you can choose modern style or classic style. I went back to using classic style because it's more simpler setup for main things that I like to use. However, if you want to use this setup where you can have individual apps right there instantly on the screen, you can. And this is the only one that you can have wallpapers changed out. So if you put pictures on a USB stick and plug it in to the USB cable of the Autotec Pro screen here, you'll be able to access that in your files. Let's see, hit the menu. You can go to, actually, the easier way is if you just hold down on the screen, you can see wallpapers right there. That's the easiest way. So I don't have any files, but if you do, you want to put pictures of your family or landscape or whatever you want, you can put it on there. A feature is that you can actually swipe left and right, add pages as you need if you want. But you can still have these widgets like to control your music, calendar, or whatever else, apps like YouTube or something like that you can see quickly on here. So that's another one of my top features. Let's go back and switch to the original screen that I like, the classic style. Now I like this because it's kind of like in a dark mode here, which I prefer. It's a little bit easier on the eyes and easier to read or pick up things, I think. But you can't swipe left or right, but you have basic things that you need on here. So the console or whatever was your last music or media playing on here, that's going to show up here. So if you had Bluetooth, for example, or CarPlay or whatever, that's going to be your standard here, radio or whatever. And then I'll have my navigation up top and then the calendar and time at the bottom. Another top feature is that you're able to add all kinds of apps. So you can see I added a couple of weather apps. I might add more as time goes on as I need them if I want. You can have different driving apps. You can have Waze, Google Maps or other maps, whatever you want to use. I haven't found one that I needed that I couldn't download. But in any case, I really like YouTube just to listen to music there for free, right? And what's nice is that when you play something on here and you turn the car off to go into the store, for example, and you come right back out, YouTube will remember where you left off and it'll just continue there. So you don't have to research for the video and try to find out where you left off at. And in order to get to the YouTube, you need to just hit the source button on your steering column here you won't really see it on the screen. You just kind of have to cycle through it until you can start to hear the audio from the YouTube. And the only way that's going to work, by the way, is if you plug in that 3.5 millimeter jack into your stock radio down here in the bottom. I showed that on a previous video. So that's the only way to listen to music from or audio from YouTube or other apps or also your Internet Explorer, for example. Okay, so keep that in mind. But that's another top feature, is that you have a lot of flexibility with a lot of kind of different apps that you might want to look at. Another top feature is that it comes with a couple of USB. Well, it comes with a USB dongle, right? So these right here, I already have a media stick in there actually, and then I have an extra one here. You can plug your phone in there or other things if you want. If you want to have like some CarPlay or Android Auto, and then that leads into my next feature that I really like. That is pretty helpful. I don't use it very often, but I like that we have the feature, is that you have the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Now those are actually very easy to use because you can just do it wirelessly. You don't have to connect your phone anymore. You just need to connect to the Bluetooth name with this phone here, or this here, to connect your phone to this Bluetooth name. Once you do that, you don't even have to download Z-Link or anything. That's what I realized. And so everything will just be pretty seamless. You'll have your whole screen or your Apple CarPlay screen that you're probably used to. I don't use it, so I can't really talk too much about it. Same for Android Auto. I don't really use this either, because why should I use it if everything that I use for driving is really already on the Autotec infotainment center here? I already have the navigation, which I use a lot. Music is already on there, Sirius XM that I listen to a lot, or YouTube. And if my phone is already Bluetooth to the OEM radio, I can still make my phone calls easily like that. So I don't really use the Android Auto or CarPlay. Those are there, but you don't really necessarily need them. It's a lot more convenient, I think, just to get in and drive and use the screen as is. But for those of you that prefer that, you have that option to use the Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Another top feature is that you can have dual screen. Let's go through that, for example. Okay, let's go back to, let's say I have something on Google Chrome, and then let's say I want to open up YouTube, for example, right? This button down here, click on that, and it says long press to enter split screen. So long press on that, and you can instantly see it comes up with this. Whoops. Once you do that, you have to select them, right? We'll do that. So we have Google up at the top and instantly YouTube down here at the bottom. So you can do split screen, whatever you want to watch on both screens. Even if you do navigation and you minimize the navigation, it'll just show up here as like a pop-up screen or whatever while you're still doing other things on the vehicle. So that's a very nice feature. I like it a lot that you have that availability so that you can kind of multitask and maybe try to be a little bit safer on the road. It all depends how you use it to your benefit or convenience. And so that was my last top feature. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. If you have one of these radios, let me know. And if you don't, if you have more questions about what you can do on this thing, let me know in the comment section. I'll let you know. I mean, I can go through anything specifically, but there's a lot of other features on here. I'm just giving you guys the top features that I like, that I prefer to use. But this thing is so convenient, very user-friendly, and has a lot of options that I'm probably not even aware of. So thanks a lot for joining, guys. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, again, put them down in the comment section, and we'll see you guys in the next video.